whacked out news. People breaking the law. Ha ha, fighting in the nude. Ha, drunk people pooping in the street. Ha ha, it's the whacked out news. Huh, so many people on meth. Ow!
Well, we got a lot of pantsless naked dudes here in Florida doing weird things. One of them was arrested last week at the Palm Beach Municipal Beach. Beachgoers there reported that he was exposing himself and touching himself inappropriately.
Oh, dude.
At 3:32 p.m. in the afternoon. Come on, wow. I guess you don't sleep when you're doing that kind of stuff, huh? Day or night, it's all good for us. 54-year-old Sharma Parag was the one who was confronted by the police, and when they asked him, they said, hey, were you doing what they said you were doing? He's like, oh, yeah, I was. Just sitting here enjoying the view, was his quote.
And I'll do it again.
Yes, he faces 2 counts of a lascivious act and exposure of sexual organs.
Dude.
Yes.
How long are you staying in the clink for that? You should stay in there for at least a month or 2, right?
You'd hope. A drunk, pantsless Florida man has been accused of giving a false name to police. Vincent Conroy, who was allegedly intoxicated and walking around a parking lot in St. Pete wearing a shirt and no pants, identified himself as Charles Dickens. Okay, wow. At the time, the 56-year-old was carrying 2 wine bottles and a can of beer with him. So I guess that's the inspiration for Charles Dickens.
Sounds like a party.
Yeah.
You will get major extra charges when you lie to the police. I think it's a felony. If you give false information to a police officer, they can really catch you with some charges.
But what if you really think your name is Charles Dickens?
Then we have to Baker Act you.
And is that not a great name for a pantsless man?
The best.
A man in Pennsylvania has been arrested after breaking into a church completely naked. When police arrived, he was still without clothes and under the influence of meth, they say. Now he's facing charges of burglary, indecent exposure, and possession of a controlled substance. It is not known just how much damage he caused.
Wow, all 3 stories are naked.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, like I said, we've got
Keeping it hot.
a lot of nudity here going on today. There was a man that got arrested Friday after yelling at firefighters, hitting their truck, and fleeing the scene.
Oh, no.
This happened around 1 p.m. in Boca Raton. Police responded to I-95 and Palmetto Park Road after a firefighter reported a black Hyundai forcing cars off the road. The driver was 40-year-old Christian D'Orsini that allegedly shouted at crews, clearing a crash. He then hit a fire engine while backing up and sped off. Police used traffic cameras to find and arrest him on Dixie Highway. His car showed rear damage, and he admitted that he may have hit something. D'Orsini appeared erratic, and he said the sirens were triggering him. Now, here's what happened. They did a breathalyzer which showed no alcohol, but they took a urine test, and then they charged him with a DUI.
Oh, wow.
I have a feeling he was under the influence of something, just not alcohol. He was also charged with property damage and leaving the scene of a crime. Okay. They say Palm Coast firefighters responded Friday night to a burning semi-truck full of watermelons on I-95.
Aw.
You ever had grilled watermelon?
I have not.
I bet it's good.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. It might be worth checking out. 38-year-old Earls Ernest Santaville was arrested after a neighbor said he threw canned corn through her window. And here's the thing. This is kind of his M.O. He's known for throwing food and other items in this Port Charlotte neighborhood. Here's one of his neighbors talking about the act.
We threw it back in his yard a couple times, and he threw it back after a while.
I called the lady.
Boy, wasn't that a great smoker's laugh? I mean, that's everything you want in a smoker's laugh.
He threw it back after a while.
Love that.
Pretty good.
I called the lady who lives there because she lives in Canada to explain that Earl had attacked her house again. She just put $500 into repairing it, And the next week, he threw stuff through the windows again.
Someday he's going to hurt somebody.
Most of us are senior citizens, and we're afraid to walk down our own street.
I mean, throwing a can of corn through a window, that is a weapon, baby.
Oh,
You
it
can
is, no
knock
doubt.
somebody out with that.
Yeah, that is pretty nasty. This 61-year-old man in Ohio named James Wicker got arrested after storming behind the counter at a Dairy Queen and assaulting a female employee, all because his order was taking too long.
I get it. You're hungry, but you cannot assault the employees because you didn't get your blizzard fast
That's
enough.
going to prolong the meal longer.
Exactly.
How are you gonna get a meal if you're getting beat up?
He started screaming, and so then the lady was like, there's no need to scream, which was the coworker that got attacked, and then eventually he came back there and assaulted her.
People are people and things are gonna happen. I just didn't want anybody else to get hit. Or, we're in the kitchen. There's knives, there's hot grease. Homeboy could have had a gun. I mean, we never know. I didn't want anything to escalate, so I was just like, you're going to sleep.
Wow. Okay.
Their fries aren't that good. Dairy Queen,
Dairy Queen.
I don't love their fries either. The blizzard is where it's at.
they could have better fries. I just don't think it's on their radar.
Maybe you should call them.
I'm talking to them right now. Dairy Queen, let's talk.
They say a jail in Georgia went into lockdown after officers could not find a missing inmate. By the way, this inmate was a convicted murderer.
Oh, no.
Yeah, that's not a good person to lose. They later discovered the inmate at the courthouse holding cell overnight. That's where they had put him and forgot about it. They misplaced a murderer.
Whoopsie.
A little alarming.
Interesting name for this guy accused of setting his own house on fire. James Brown apparently just wanted to see the firefighters work. In 2023, firefighters were dispatched after James Brown called reporting a fire. However, 90 minutes after the fire was extinguished, he called in another fire. They then got a little suspicious, thinking that maybe he was setting the fires intentionally, and a background check revealed that James Brown had called the fire department 80 times in 1 year.
Oh, my.
They eventually got him on arson charges.
So does he have a crush on the firefighters, or is he lonely?
He must just love what they do. He loves their act, and he wants to see more of it, apparently. Two hikers in the Czech Republic came across 589 gold coins minted between 1808 and the early 1900s.
Oh, it's sweet. Finders keepers, right?
We
No
don't
doubt.
tell anybody.
Right.
Oh, that's awesome.
They say the total bounty is worth about $341,000.
Dang.
Now, are they allowed to keep it?
I don't know. I think that might be a case of finder, because look, nobody's going to be alive that had lost it, and it's your find. I
Like
don't
if
know
you
why they
find
wouldn't.
treasure out there.
We need to go do a treasure hunt. Let's go find some rubies.
This is how we do. It's the KVJ Show.